In May 2024, the Toyota Motor Corporation admitted to a catastrophic engineering failure that marked the official death of the modern reliable pickup truck. Why did the company famous for building million-mile engines suddenly recall over 100,000 Tundras? Because the complex new technology that replaced the V8 turned out to be a fatal engineering mistake. And why are Ford and General Motors replacing simple, proven V8 engines with complex twin turbo systems that cannot handle the heat of towing? In this investigation, we are going to look at the federal mandates that force this change, expose the specific mechanical failures plaguing the 2026 lineup, and show you the only trucks left on the market that are actually built to do work. The story begins with the fall of the king. For 2 decades, the Toyota Tundra with the 5.7-liter, the gold standard of reliability. It was thirsty, and it was old technology, but it was virtually indestructible. But in 2022, Toyota discontinued the V8 and replaced it with a complex 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6. They promised more power and better fuel economy, but what they delivered was a grenade. In 2024, Toyota issued a recall for over 100,000 trucks because machining debris was left inside the engine block during manufacturing. This debris blocked oil flow to the main bearings, causing the engines to seize and fail, often with less than 30,000 miles on the odometer. This is not just a Toyota problem. This is an industry-wide disaster driven by one specific government entity, the Environmental Protection Agency. Under the current corporate average fuel economy standards, manufacturers are effectively being regulated out of building V8 engines for half-ton trucks. To meet these federal requirements, engineers are forced to downsize engine displacement and add turbochargers to make up the power difference. The result is an engine under immense stress. Think of it this way. A classic V8 towing a camper is like a weightlifter carrying a backpack. It is doing the work, but not breathing hard. A twin-turbo V6 towing that same camper is like a sprinter running at full speed while dragging a sled. It can do the work fast, but it generates massive amounts of heat and pressure to do it. Heat is the enemy of longevity. When you squeeze 400 horsepower out of a small displacement engine, you are shortening the lifespan of every gasket, seal, and bearing in that block. This is why we are seeing the death of the 500,000-mile truck. Look at General Motors. To keep their V8 engines legal, they installed a complex cylinder deactivation system called Dynamic Fuel Management. It uses computer-controlled lifters to shut off cylinders when they are not needed to save a fraction of a gallon of gas. But these lifters are prone to collapsing, which destroys the camshaft and requires a complete engine teardown to fix. We are seeing low-mileage Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras sitting in service bays with bent push rods and destroyed valvetrains because the system designed to satisfy the government compromised the reliability of the truck. Then there is Ford. The Ford F-150 is the best-selling vehicle in America, but it is plagued by the 10-speed transmission disaster. The 10R80 transmission was designed to keep the engine in its absolute most efficient revolutions per minute range at all times. But owners are reporting harsh shifting, skipping gears, and catastrophic failures, often just outside of the warranty period. Ford has also struggled with the cam phasers on their 3.5-liter EcoBoost engines, which rattle and fail, requiring a $3,000 repair bill. So why are you paying $80,000 for a truck that is statistically less reliable than the one you drove 20 years ago? Because the modern half-ton truck is no longer a tool. It is a luxury compliance vehicle. They are designed to pass an emissions test on a dyno, not to tow your fifth wheel across the Rocky Mountains for 10 years. They have replaced cast iron reliability with plastic oil pans and complex sensors that put the truck into limp mode if they detect a variance in exhaust pressure. So if you need to tow a recreational vehicle or a boat, what is the solution? You have 2 options. Option 1 is to step up to the heavy-duty class. 3/4 ton and 1 ton trucks like the Ford F-250 or the Chevy 2500, are subject to different emissions regulations than the half-ton trucks. This allows manufacturers to use engines that are actually built for work. The bright spot in this entire industry is the Ford 7.3-liter gas V8 known as the Godzilla. Ford engineers went back to the drawing board and built a massive, simple pushrod V8 with no turbochargers and no cylinder deactivation. It is inefficient and it is heavy, but it is built like a commercial engine from the 1990s. It is one of the last true workhorse engines left on the American market. Option 2 is to reject the new market entirely. Just like with RVs, the smartest move is often to buy a truck from the pre-regulation era. A 2015 to 2020 Toyota Tundra with the 5.7-liter V8 will likely outlast a brand new twin turbo model off the lot today. A Chevy made before active fuel management or a Ford made before EcoBoost offers a simplicity you cannot buy new anymore. Manufacturers and dealerships want you to focus on massive touchscreens and massaging seats. They want you to ignore that the engine under the hood is working twice as hard to last half as long. Do not trade your paid-off reliable V8 for a monthly payment on a plastic science project. The 500,000-mile truck is dead in the showroom, but it is still alive in the used market if you know what to look for. In our next investigation, we will expose dealership service centers refusing to fix these failures and the warranty loopholes they use to deny your claim.